Welcome to Living on the B-Side, where music and stories come together to inspire and transform. I'm your host Birgit, and in every episode we explore the universal language of music, how it shapes our lives, connects us, and tells the stories that define us. Through heartfelt conversations and powerful melodies, we uncover the magic that makes music so much more than just sound. All right, B-Siders, welcome to a brand new episode. As always, I'm very excited to welcome not one, but two guests today. Hello and welcome to Orphan Prodigy. Hello.
Hi. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for coming on. I'm very excited about our chat today. Your album is called Medication for Modern World. I think it already says quite a bit what it's about, but maybe kind of share with us how you came to making that album.
Yeah, so it's been like a title in the back of my mind for, the better part of 10 years or something. And yeah, I think it's just one of those things where it's like it felt like the appropriate time to kind of use it. And just there's a lot of chaos in the world right now, no matter where you are. And I think that for me personally, I think on a personal level, there's meaning to it, from a chaotic standpoint, and in a global way too. And so I think this collection of songs was a great way to kind of bring this project, Orphan Prodigy, to life. It takes you from start to finish, from this kind of journey of chaos to sort of acceptance, rejection, and then acceptance in the middle. And at the end, you're just kind of left in the wake of it all, So I think it's a very conceptual record.
Mm-hmm. You're very true. There's a lot of chaos happening in the world, and I think not just on the broader world, but also a lot of times for us as human individuals, there's many people deal with now. So personally, like you said, like you wanted to make this album and there was like a reason behind it. Can you share like a little bit more what that reason was? Was it personal experience, or did you just wanted to share like and hope other people get something out of it? Any sort of like that?
I think I just, I needed a way to create, because I had been, prior to Orphan Prodigy, I'd been kind of touring in this band that I had for almost 15, 16 years. And when that kind of stopped and I hit an agoraphobic phase, I was unable to tour anymore. And then the pandemic hit and all these things. At that time, I decided that I wanted to kind of take a step back in the industry and kind of sort of redefine what it was for me. And so I tried my hand at producing. I went to production school in Arizona, here in the States, and it wasn't 2 weeks that I was into the program that the first track on the album was being made. Getaway, second track on the album. So yeah, I mean, it was just, I think it started, this album, this project was all just a means of me kind of being true to myself and returning to that songwriter that I've always been. Like, I can't go a day without writing 3 songs, so, or 3 ideas. So yeah, it's actually, when I was 16, I was in this studio, and there was a copy of Spin magazine in the studio, and one of my heroes, Rivers Cuomo from Weezer, was on the cover, and I read the article in the magazine, and he was like, "Well, I write 3 songs a day," so I was like, "If I'm going to be any good at this, I have to do the same thing." So from that point on, I was writing three, like 3 ideas a day, 3 songs, 3 ideas.
Wow. That's an interesting thing, because I know another guest I've had a while ago, she is actually helping young people write their own songs and hence process their emotions and hopefully help them become more aware of how they are themselves and how they show up in the world, and maybe do decisions that are beneficial not just for them but for others. When you say 3 songs a day, I'm impressed, because I guess just writing one might be tricky for someone that doesn't write, but 3. Is that like really cathartic for you, obviously, doing that?
It's just something I have to do. It's like breathing. I have to just
Okay.
have that oxygen. If it's kind of like there's a valve, almost in my head, and I just kind of have to like get the ideas out. Otherwise, it just gets too intense. There's already so much chaos in there already. I need to
Oh
just kind
no.
of get it out. So
It's fun for me to see too, because Ian is always brainstorming and always getting, creative and having different ideas. So for me on the outside, he'll maybe like bring up his phone and have like the notes app and start jotting down like a lyric at a time. And so over the course of the day, you'll see the song come together with these kind of like separated thoughts throughout the
Oh.
day. So I don't I see him creating a song throughout the day, but it could be slow, it could be fast, but most of the time it's piecing together different ideas um throughout the course of the day, if that makes sense. Right.
Yeah, I was just
yeah,
about to ask you how you see it from the outside, how it happens. So thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, yeah.
So
It's
I'm curious to know now, you both are sitting here and you're obviously now working as a team to put the
Mhm.
music out. How did that happen? How did, you decide that's what we're going to do?
I just dragged her on stage. Well, I didn't drag her on stage, but I was just like, we had a show in Brooklyn. We were doing the what was it? We were releasing something in Brooklyn. Was it the album
Maybe
release?
it's the album.
Oh, it was the album. It was the album release, and why all this stuff is becoming a blur. It's a lot happened in the last 6 months, but yeah, we were doing the album release, and I think it was like a week before or something. I was like, you're just gonna be on, you're
You're
gonna
on
join the band,
stage.
you're gonna
I
be on
you're
stage,
be in the band on stage.
and I needed the emotional support.
But it's been really fun. I've always been involved in the band from behind the scenes. Um, I don't like define myself as being creative, but I kind of surprised myself in how I can be. Um, Whether that's like making merch or having fun making stickers or even putting some input into the music videos, which I've been a part of every one so
Huge part
far.
of
Um, which is a lot of fun. And I'm not shy to share my opinions. So yeah,
the editing process is like 10 times more daunting.
yes, that it's so funny when you're doing it too, and the process of it's just been so fun to be part of it behind the scenes, and now that I'm kind of on stage in the front, it's even more exciting. It's definitely a little different when we have our live shows because now I get that stage fright feeling. Um Instead of just being like, okay, let's put the show on and like have a good time, I'll like record. Now it's like, oh great, everyone's watching. But yeah,
she does more than she's letting on. Like, she's actually controlling the show.
yeah.
If
Speak to what I'm doing.
Yeah, like when she's on stage, she's actually controlling the show. So if that station collapses, the entire show,
Yeah,
the production
it's like
collapses.
during the show, and we're practicing some backup vocals. So
Oh, gee, getting out the nice creative juice then, obviously. That's been there all the time, but you didn't know you've had it.
yeah, I didn't know.
Amazing, amazing. Now, I would love to, if it's okay, go a little bit further back before you obviously had the success that's now coming for you guys. And I'm always intrigued by how does someone get to the point where they're at? What's their kind of backstory? What's driven them? What made them do what they do, sometimes consciously, sometimes unconsciously. So I would love if you are open and happy to share about a little bit about your journey and how you kind of ended up where you are now. I think that's really interesting to hear.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I started music really young.
Mm-hmm.
I was fortunate to, be in touch with some pretty prominent people. But and I'm not saying that that's like what drove me to do music. I had the interest, and it just so happened that I happened to know somebody who was in the industry. But, you know, the other side is that my parents were extremely supportive. You know, I grew up, you know, as an adopted person, from birth. I grew up with two gay parents. I was always a different kid, and like, but you know, I don't really ever, I'm never bitter about it because I always embraced it. Like my first band name was the Rejects, and I like really like embraced that, and like I didn't want to let that go. And so when we ended up signing my first deal, they were like, well, you got to change the name because there's like 10 million bands named the Rejects. So like, you got to change the name. And I was so bummed because like, it was like my identity. I was like wearing it like a badge of honor, you know? And I didn't like ever separate myself from people consciously, but like, you know, it's one of those things where like, I know I'm different. I accept that I'm different. If you're gonna pick on me, that's fine. You know, I'll defend myself if I have to. But like, you know, I'm not a violent person, so I just, you know, kind of find my release, and I guess you know, yeah, I find my relief in music. You know, it's always been that way.
Yeah. And that part of your story personally resonates a lot with me. Like when you said a reject, like you said, it's not, a lot of people think that's a bad thing, but like the Living on the B-side whole thing came because I felt like a reject, like an outsider, like not accepted. So I can kind of relate to it, even though it's completely different lives. And I know a lot of people who watch and listen to this show probably feel the same. So knowing that this can actually be a good thing that drives you in a good direction and makes you do what you do now. I mean, just look at you two. What are you achieving now? It's incredible, you know, and
Thank you.
I always love that because it gives hope and it gives inspiration and maybe a little bit of drive for others to say, okay, I'm actually okay. And if others say I'm not, well, that's their business, not mine. So, you know, I think that's an important kind of thing that I like to highlight a lot.
Yeah. And we were actually just talking about this earlier today. That we've had similar experiences kind of growing up, being having friends, but kind of always feeling like an outsider of the friend group. And struggling with your own anxieties and your whole world growing up in, you know, and going to school isn't always fun and dealing with a lot of drama. And
Especially as an intense person, I think, you know, we're very intense people, and I think sometimes that can be mistaken for arrogance or you know, just bad energy, when really we're the ones kind of inside dealing with the struggle and trying to manage the room. And like, you know, even to this day, like, you know, I don't love to travel. I don't love to we don't love to travel. We don't love to travel. You know, it's
like it, and when we're there and experience it, and then we're ready to come home. We're home buddies for sure.
yeah, and like, you know, it's one thing to be on stage and like there's an audience or whatever, but like, you know, being like in a room at a party, like, no, I'm I don't do that. I can't.
In this way, and we both have intense big personalities, which is what drew us together when we met. But it's often misunderstood, and that's actually what led me into the field of psychology, because I'm a licensed psychologist as well. So I wanted to really understand others and understand myself.
Yeah. And how does that kind of help you now with what you're doing now? I bet that's a huge benefit, knowing
it's
see the
huge.
subtle things going on and stuff like that.
Absolutely. And to merge really like my craft with Orphan Prodigy is amazing, because it, you know, everything that, you know, Ian's the how do you say it?
Lyricist.
Lyricist.
I am also the songwriter. That's important to note.
Like, he is writing the guts of the song. But they all really do have a mental health vibe to them. And this record itself is a big nod to mental health and mental health advocacy. And so, I love representing that. And if we can help our fans to um feel any type of connection and feel any type of peace with our music, it's all the better to do it.
Yeah, super rewarding. I mean, it's it's we kind of like we have the performance side where we're doing like the 7 shows live streaming a day. They're all different, and we do that directly through our website or YouTube, Twitch, whatever, all these different platforms. But the other side is the second third of that equation is us talking about mental health directly on our streams and engaging with our fan base that way. And then the third of the Orphan Prodigy umbrella is me talking to adopted people and sharing our stories together. And maybe we'll throw in a little music and I'll perform a little. But I think it's just really this project has really kind of grown into more than just music. And it's weird for me to say that as a musician, but like I think now especially it's really important with all the isolation happening in the world and again all the chaos. It's just nice to have a community that you can sort of live in and even if you show up to like a call and like one of these live streams that we have and you don't say anything but you're kind of just there listening. I think eventually like the second third time I see people like type a word or they'll jump in, they'll turn their camera on and they'll be part of the conversation. It's really important to just kind of foster an environment where, of acceptance and just like, leave the negative stuff out and just, let people be who they are,
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. That's why I think we have so much in common, but coming from different angles. And that's what I love about you two. I think it's really, your heart is so in the right place and you're speaking from experience. And I think that really makes a huge difference as well, because a lot of times there's so much noise out there that we should be listening to, but you look at that noise or the person talking and I go, how do you know what I'm going through or people like myself are going through? Have you been there? No. So how would I listen to you? But if we have these conversations, because like the three of us, and I'm sure everyone that tunes in will have their own experiences. Wow, there's a huge kind of power in that to hopefully spread some more healing energy and get the chaos out the door eventually.
Yeah,
that'd be good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to say that this is the coolest podcast name ever. Living on the B side. I couldn't shut up. I couldn't shut up about it. Like I've been talking about it since we did the pre call.
Oh,
so
thank you.
It's a great name. It's an awesome name. So
thank you so much. You're gonna make me blush in a minute. Yeah, it's sometimes the greatest things come to you when you least expect it. I'm sure you as a songwriter have that sometimes. You might be in the supermarket picking up a broccoli or something and then all of a sudden it's this great idea. So yeah. Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that a lot. You just said about, you're doing these live performances and you're trying to sort of connect with people. You also, and I do this really nice little pre-questionnaire, which gives me huge insight, and I love the answers that I get. They're so good. What I love is like you do this like rock and all these different genres, and you're trying to blend them together. And you said that deep house is calming for you and kind of reflective, but then you also do rock music. Like for someone that can't understand that, which we probably can, the three of us. How does that, like from an energetic level, how does that help you balance yourself out or harmonize yourself a bit? Or, is there like a certain creative energy you need? So you're turning to a specific sound, or how does that kind of
I don't know. I think, I think like most of my inspiration comes from a very melancholic, nostalgic place. And like we'll be driving and like the only thing that I want to hear is chill music, like just like because I play rock and roll all day. Like I can't, I spent almost 20 years just doing guitar rock and punk music and stuff like that, and I just I'm older now, and I think I need something a little bit more all-encompassing that's not kind of and that's not to say that my favorite rock bands, because if you ask me what my favorite artists are, I'm going to give you rock bands. Um and they'll always be my foundation, but like when I'm just living my life and like picking up a piece of broccoli at the store or whatever, like I'm not trying to listen to, I'm just trying to live and exist, because going to the store for me can be, like going to Walmart for me can be pretty taxing on my system, just with all the fluorescent lights and stuff and all the people and, all of that. So like, I just want something to chill out to, and something that kind of makes me think differently, takes me out of that state of panic, and gives me a more reflective way to be and operate. Because there's just, like I said, there's just so much chaos in my head and at times, and like there's a Men I Trust is a really great band out right now, and we recently saw them in Brooklyn, and twice. Oh yeah, that's right, twice. We saw them twice, and just like one of the best bands and out right now, I think. And it kind of takes like rock and sort of fuses it with like a little bit of like that like electronica deep house, like
How I would describe Orphan Prodigy as well.
yeah, but more like in the rock direction with Orphan Prodigy.
Yeah.
We're much more in that leaning. That's the thing with Orphan Prodigy, is like I don't really I think I talk about like rejection and stuff, and it's like accepting all genres and fusing them into one. It's never saying no to an idea. And I think that's like the whole ethos, now that I'm thinking about it like that. It's like it's always been there. It's like I've never wanted to outright reject anything, whether it's pop music or jazz music or whatever, or rock music. It's everything has its purpose. And I think it's about how you incorporate it to kind of, express yourself and tell the story that you're trying to tell, because my lyrics don't make sense, so I have to do it through music. My lyrics are just feelings on the spot, so that's my way of telling stories.
That's what you are saying, that your lyrics don't make sense, but I'm sure to quite a few of your fans and listeners, they probably go, oh my God, he knows exactly what I'm going through right now. That's
Yeah.
the beauty of you guys who write songs, that you just never know. You think, oh, it might not make sense, but it probably does. It probably
Hopefully.
does.
Hopefully.
One song can mean something to you at a certain time and mean something completely different at another point in your life. And I think that's what's really cool about music too. You can,
Yeah.
That's what's cool about Traitor.
Oh yeah. I mean, Traitor is
That's the single that we're promoting, and like I had no idea that I never analyzed the lyrics, right? Because when we record, when I record the vocals, it's just me singing or saying on the spot, and I don't edit things unless there's something massively wrong. But like from I guess that Traitor, I always thought was about like this relationship. On the surface, it's like just like like you cut me out, you cut me open and let me bleed out. It's like, but really, it's this whole time that song has been about rejection as a whole, and that's why I think it resonates so well with people, because everybody can relate to that. It doesn't have to just be isolated to your relationship stuff. It doesn't have to relegate it to that. And I think I really, in that song particularly, I do really kind of scream out who I am and what I've kind of dealt with. And I used to hate the idea of it being so basic and all this stuff, but like now I really embrace it as a song that I think I was always meant to write, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think the simplicity of the song is probably what really resonates a lot. It's just kind of, and I love simplicity. I don't like complex stuff too much as it's time and place, but if it just hits the spot, that's, and like you said, for me, when I listen to the song, it could have been like, I'm a traitor to myself. Like, I'm not accepting myself. I'm lying to myself.
Yeah.
Why am I doing that? Because I'm not a traitor. I'm just who I am. So that's what I'm saying. You probably thought, no one gets it. You've been proven wrong. Because
time
people
and
do
time
get
again.
it.
Time and time again.
There you go. So that's a good thing. And I love that. And I think there's actually a quote. I think it's Dave Grohl who said it, and I can't quote it perfectly, but the essence of it is that when he's in a stadium and he sings that one song and 70,000 people sing it back to him, each person has a different reason why that song means something to them.
Mm-hmm.
And that quote blew me away. I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
It's so true. So
It's funny you mentioned Dave Grohl because I really, he's by far for me the most inspirational drummer with his time in Nirvana and stuff. But I really, all the drum parts are kind of rooted in that same beat that he, if you really listen to all my songs, that they're all rooted in that same musical aesthetic that he brings, which is that's that raw energy. And so when you're trying to make something electronic sound alive, you look at Dave Grohl and you're saying, how can I use Dave Grohl's, just massive talent to kind of, tell the story I want to tell. And so I definitely have a lot. He's a huge inspiration on me in the drumming parts for sure.
Yeah. I love Dave Grohl. Love the Foo Fighters, apart from Nirvana. So they're awesome. Anyway, that's a whole nother conversation. I just love, and the whole kind of red line through this conversation for me has always been how incredibly impactful music can be, no matter which side you're on, and how it can really support you as a human being. And I feel you both are such a wonderful example of how you used music to share your story and now through that trying to support others. And I think that's really going to change the world. Not obviously like on a huge scale, but just these little nuggets and then things will happen. So I just love that. And I saw, you must have realized that over time as well, that you're actually doing something and other people are like, oh God, I feel better now. Is that kind of the feedback you're getting more and more now by what you're doing?
I never expected to get the response that we got from Trader. For me, it was just like kind of this, like, again, like this, just like this song that I was kind of ashamed of and I didn't know why. But then when people started talking about it and like saying, wow, that's the one that really stood out for me in the set, I was like, well, okay, let me re-examine this. But and that's when I found like this deeper meaning for myself about it. And it was really like, cause just, this epitome. It's much different having epiphanies in your 30s than it is having them in your 20s. And so it is just a massive awakening for me, I think. And I'm just glad that it really resonates with so many people and helps in any way.
Yes. Ripple effect, I always say. You never know where you land. So I'm curious, what's next for you guys? You obviously got so much going on that you just shared earlier on, but what's next? What are you up to? What are you going to do?
We have a single release, the next single coming out November 21st. We're going to do a show back in Brooklyn and we're going to release it there. We're launching a Patreon because our publicist and management has been begging us to do that. So we're going to do that. We're doing that. And then, in the new year, we're releasing a 2026 remaster of this 2025's album. So it's going to have a really nice new sonic coat of paint on it. So that'll be fun.
And we're also preparing to do another music video for one of our
nice.
Yes. So we're kind of doing 2 music videos back to back, and it's pretty it's going to be pretty wild. We're working with the same director that did Trader, and he's actually just this really talented guy. I got to shout him out. Jonathan Oliveira directed the Trader video. Just an amazing talent. Actually, he grew up on my block, and we just happened to like reconnect through on a whim. My dad was putting on a play in Queens, where I'm from, and we just got reintroduced again, and we just hit it off, and like within a month we were shooting, I think. So yeah, just crazy how things happen like that.
Yeah.
When you keep your mind open, you know.
Yes, yes. Well, I'm excited for you both. I'll try to keep an eye on what you're doing from across the world, from down under.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things we can take away from our conversation for sure. And again, for me, it's just solidified the fact that music has this power that just and nothing else has. You know, it's so healing and just incredible. And I know I sound like a broken record, but it just is. And
I'm the broken record.
You and me both.
My dad is a huge Deadhead. So I grew up with music since I was very, very little. And you're right, like there's just something so powerful about it. And so it like feeling rejected and then putting yourself at a show and seeing your favorite band play is just peaceful and so cathartic. So I have to shout out my cousin Carly. She said when we first started dating, it makes so much sense that you're dating a musician. And I was like, yeah, you're absolutely right. So to be here now in Orphan Prodigy, like full circle, it's just really amazing. So I agree. I think there's absolutely something so powerful about music. It can bring so many people together.
And it can change the world. Sorry, what did you say?
Yeah.
No, I'm very happy for her that she's had this cathartic sort of experience being aggressively folded into the band. So
I leave that up to you to sort out.
That way.
Oh dear me. Yes, so hopefully we can get you some I'm sure there's some people who already know you here in Australia and in my world, but if not, more people will know you now. So hopefully they'll check you out and give you a thumbs up or purchase a song or the whole album, whatever.
Not supposed to say anything yet on that front, but yeah, I think we might be heading to Australia at some point.
Oh my God, it's traveling.
So
it's a long travel though. How are you guys gonna go?
Yeah, we have this gear rentals, there's traveling, there's hotel stays, a lot. Yeah.
Oh my God.
But I toured Australia before, and I love Sydney, and it's a lot like New York. But you guys are so friendly, and I have an awesome time every time I go. You guys are just such great people and such great, just wonderful, peaceful people.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, we can be very laid back, that's for sure.
I don't mean to generalize.
Oh God, don't worry about it. It's fine. We all have different kinds of people where we live, so it's all good.
Exactly.
Some are more laid back than others, Yeah. Right, so before we close out our chat, I'm going to throw one more question at you, and I've got to read it out, otherwise I get it wrong. So if I look down, that's why. I would like to know from you guys, if someone is like listening to your music or to you on this interview right now and has a feeling of kind of feeling lost or anxious or just unsettled, any of those emotions, because life at the moment sucks, to say the least. The world sucks big time. With your music, what do you hope that can give them?
I think I would hope that it would give them some sense that they're not alone, first of all. And then secondly, I would, you asked me about Deep House and how that kind of fits into my life. And for me, I guess the musical hope would be to kind of have a similar effect on anybody who's listening, where they can just kind of trance out and feel not alone, and they can kind of be in a more reflective state. That's why I think, I tried to write this out. This record is really just kind of like all out, and every time you listen to this, every time you give it another listen, you hear something different because there's just so many parts, and it's by design, but it's also not by design. It's just who I am. mentally chaotic. So, I hope it gives people just a chance to reflect, whether that's on the world, themselves, the state of things,
and feel comfortable, with being who you are. Be true to yourself, and hopefully this can help someone feel their authentic self. I think Orphan Prodigy is, as Ian was describing earlier, it's really becoming more of a brand rather than just a band. And you can kind of be with us or live with us in many different ways with listening to our music. We game, we on Twitch. We have,
partner with mental health brands and really try to advocate for mental health awareness. And yeah, it's like a big deal for us.
Yeah.
Be a big family and bring you in and just accept who you truly are.
Yeah. I feel that's a big one. Because I think a lot of people feel like they have to hide who they are, and the whole acceptance thing. Yeah, it's not. It's interesting. Let me put it that way.
It's an everyday battle, right? Everyday struggle, really. So
yeah, but that's why music is so great.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's a place to be yourself.
Yeah,
come rock out with one of our shows.
That's it.
Yeah.
You said it nicely, and it's a really good sort of way to close it out and say, if anyone's interested to check out Orphan Prodigy, you will find all the deets in the episode description. So don't hesitate to take some time out for yourself and spend it with these two incredible humans. Thanks so much for your time today. I really enjoyed talking to you. Really cool energy. So thanks so much.
Us too. We'd love to just hang out sometime. We'll hit you up when we're in Australia for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, please do. Let me know when you're coming over, and I'm sure we can organize something. I'm a bit of a homebody these days myself, so I don't go out.
Totally get it.
All right. Well, thanks so much, guys. And to you, B-siders, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. And if you have any questions or feedback, you know where to find us. So don't hesitate to reach out. But that's it for now. I hope you all stay safe and healthy and happy until next time. Sending you all much music and love. Thanks for tuning in for now. Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.